Welcome back. We are now ready to jump into our second to last series of the evening. And oh boy, what a banger this could be. We've got Fredit Prion going up against Hanwha Life Esports. Take it away. That's all I got to say.
Hanwha Life Esports are the Dom 1 of Group B.
Yes.
That has been made clear by everyone else who has played here today. Obviously, a lot of the different teams running their second rosters, or they're running subs in some of their games, so we haven't seen the top level from everybody, but Hanwha Life looking good.
프레디 브리온에 소속되어 있는 지금 정글 엄성현 엄티입니다. 안녕하세요. 제가 이번 연도에 팀을 사실 구하기가 좀 힘들다고 생각을 했어요. 근데 테스트 봐주게 해주신 최우범 감독님도 되게 감사드리고 저를 이렇게 뽑아주신 만큼 인정받을 수 있도록 노력하고 싶습니다. 팀원들과의 화합인 것 같아요. 팀원들과 융합하고 화합하고 하면은 개인적인 선수들 피지컬이나 이런 건 되게 좋은 것 같아서 저희가 같이 뭉칠 수만 있다면 잘할 수 있지 않을까 생각하고 있어요.
안녕하세요. 프레딧 브리온에서 탑라이너를 맡고 있는 호야 윤용호입니다. 저희 팀이 합을 맞춰본 지가 얼마 안 됐는데 성적이 되게 잘 나오고 있어서 이번 KeSPA도 기대해 볼 만한 것 같습니다. 저희 팀도 충분히 우승할 만하다고 생각하고 열심히 해서 좋은 성적 가질 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
I gotta give Hoya the shout out. He's also rocking some Tom Ford glasses like myself. This guy's got taste.
Okay.
And you probably won't understand this, but he looks so much like if you combined Haksal and Bumper, who are two Overwatch players who used to be on Runaway.
Okay.
He just looks like those two put
Well, there you
together
go. Maybe
with
he
good
is
fashion taste.
into the perfect pro gamer. Hoya in the top lane for Fredit Brion, and now Umti coming in for the jungle. So we had Chieftain in for the first game, and he played all right. You know, I actually think that he was one of the highlights from their team. And now we'll have to wait and see what Umti can do here in this one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Umti back. Obviously was commentating LCK when he first made his debut and came through on Gen Green Wings. So it's good to see that he's still sticking around. He's one of the few Korean players in that time who actually spoke excellent English. But for now, let's take another look at Hanwha Life.
안녕하세요. 한화생명 e스포츠 미드라이너 초비 정재훈입니다. 한화생명으로 이적하게 된 이유는 감독님이 굉장히 많이 어필해 주셨고 기존에 알고 있던 멤버들도 있기 때문에 오게 된 것 같습니다. 솔직히 이적 시장 때 저한테 많이 관심들을 가져주셔서 부담이 컸는데 근데 이 부담이 좋은 의미의 부담이었기 때문에 되게 즐거운 부담이었고 다음에도 또 이런 부담을 느끼고 싶네요.
네, 안녕하세요. 한화생명 e스포츠에서 원거리 딜러를 맡고 있는 데프트 김혁규입니다. 사실 이제 초비 선수 빼고는 같이 지낸 지 한 달 정도 돼가는 것 같은데 딱히 뭔가 성격적으로도 모난 친구가 없고 되게 또 열심히 하는 친구들이어서 그냥 길게 봤을 때 되게 재밌을 것 같아요. 성적에 되게 초점이 맞춰져 있는 대회는 아니다 보니까 무조건 이길 수 있다 이런 자신감은 솔직히 그렇게 크진 않지만 그래도 지는 건 다 싫거든요. 선수들도 그렇고 저도 그렇고 그래서 꼭 이길 수 있도록 열심히 준비해 보겠습니다.
Well, it's a solid start already for Deft, as we might have anticipated. The guy still a god in the bot lane. Had a really strong game just a little bit ago versus T1's B team, rather. Strong performance on the Misfortune.
He certainly did. I think he picked up 2 triple kills, or at least 1 triple, 1 double, and he looked pretty good doing it. Almost effortless, you know. And also Vista down on the bottom side, showing that he is in fact a great player. I'm looking forward to seeing a bit more of him here in this game, seeing what else he can do. Because on the Shen, he was everywhere, like he should be, but also making some really sick plays. So was surprised by him, whereas Chovy and Deft, of course, you know, they're just great players. We already know that. So they were able to dominate their lanes.
Well, here we go into the draft. It will be Fredit over on the blue side, Hanwha Life on the red. Olaf's going to be the first thing taken away, so not allowing for Arthur to get that into his hands. That's what he used versus T1. So not too surprising to see that banned away, as well as the Orianna that was very boldly picked by Jovi early in the draft.
Yeah, they're essentially like, we want to see you play other stuff. And I think Jovi's like, okay.
And I think I agree.
Fine.
I'm happy to watch him play other things
Yeah,
as well.
great idea, Fredit Brion. We wanted to see them play different champions. Akali, not going to be one of those different champions we see. So that does get taken off the board here. Graves still up. Might consider banning that, but instead the Alistair is going to be the ban for Hanwha Life.
Which, after Crescent's performance on the Alistar, I do find somewhat surprising. I think you'd be like, hey, yeah, go ahead, play the Alistar again. But it's not going to be the case. Seems like, as you mentioned, the Graves being available might be the first lock-in, but crucially, this could lead to something like a Samira Lucian draft for Hanwha Life Esports. Those are both available picks.
Yeah, I think Lucian is pretty obvious for this team. Just, you know, Duda can play it, Jovi can play it, Def can play it. Hell, Vista can play it. He won't as a support, but I know he can. And I would be very surprised if they didn't pick it here. We'll see what else they decide to go for. They are going to lock in the Renekton.
That's very early. No. Okay. Arthur's just having some fun.
Yeah. Zed or bed?
I'll allow it.
I mean, yeah, sure. Go ahead. And they are going to pick up the Kalista, even with the Lucian available, which is pretty interesting to see that. Of course, Kalista is still strong now. But in this lineup, could have expected it. Maybe they want to try some other stuff.
I mean, just yesterday we did see, I believe it was Samira bot with Kalista mid. So,
yeah.
How's the Kalista for Chobi's wheelhouse these days?
Or Dudu, you know.
Or Dudu.
Although I think that Renekton is probably top lane.
Yeah.
Who knows? How much fun do they want to have with this is the real question.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue on our merry way through the draft. Lava, for now, just going to be hovering the Leona for Crescent, which, like I had said after Fredit's first series, I think that Crescent would have had a much better performance if it was a Leona in his hands instead of the Alistar, and that will just be the lock-in for him. And Arthur going to be picking up the Nidalee.
Did they ban this Nidalee against him the last time? I kind of remember a Nidalee ban.
It was not Hanwha Life's game. That was in our first series. And it was actually, yeah, banned away by Fredit against KT.
Interesting. So, I mean, Nidalee Renekton is a awesome combination. So, you know, regardless of pick and bans, like, that's just a good couple of champs to go for. See how they run. They could have gone for a Lilia or, well, not Talia, she's banned, but those are kind of all in a similar wheelhouse. Elise also could have potentially been looked at, but they do not. As Shen gets banned away, some respect being shown. I like that.
Trying to further limit the available supports, given that the Pantheon, the Alistar are banned. Now you have the Leona drafted. Well, you know, just yesterday, I was about to say it. I was going to say we just saw Braum yesterday.
Yeah.
Kind of came out of left field, something that synergizes well with the Fate's Call, but seems like it might just be a return to this Maokai support here for Vista. Potentially. Well, actually, certainly, given the Renekton.
Yeah, I mean, Maokai seems to be popping up here and there in support. We saw it in the All-Star game as well, and it does get selected here once again. Jin available. Samir and Kaisa were the first couple of picks they wanted to take away, and so Jin, kind of number 3 right in that lane, does get snatched up. And so now they need a mid laner for Lava. What are they going to go for? Lava? Certainly a guy that's played Orianna in the past. We saw him play Anivia. Was that him playing Anivia? No, maybe not him. But he does like his control mages, is the point. And okay. We're getting Jovi on Yone.
Okay.
And he's going to be up against the Syndra, which is kind of, you know, predictable from Lava.
Okay, so Yone for Chovy and Syndra for Lava. Some big departures now from what we saw previously. Lava and Chovy both showed us Orianna in their previous games. Didn't go so well for Lava. Went really well for Chovy.
Yeah.
But now very different styles. And Chovy's looking to get down and dirty.
Yeah. We don't have his brother, Yasuo. We saw that in the All-Star events. The brothers go in together, but this time around it will just be Yone. And you can't complain with that. You don't get to see that too often. But it's Chovy. So if there was any player in this Group B that we would give okay, you know, the go button to play something like this, it would be Chovy 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here we go. I'm excited. A lot of changes compared to what we've been seeing so far in the series today. Our first Kalista of the day, the Maokai support, topped up with the Yone in mid. This could be absolutely explosive. Hanwha Life Esports going to be looking for that 2-0 start in the KeSPA Cup to try and get that auto seed forward into the semifinals. Fredit, Breon, Ken, they bounce back after their loss versus KT Rolster and take down the Titans that are Hanwha Life Esports. Let's find out as we jump on a Summoner's Rift for match number 4.
All right, off we go. Yone going to do a bit of spinning.
Once more into the breach.
This is one of the more fun emotes to spam.
It's going to get dizzy.
No, he's Yone. He's used to it.
Get him some skates. He could be a figure skater.
Yeah. You got to freeze over Summoner's Rift.
Compete in the League of Olympics.
League of Olympics.
Yeah.
Maybe someday. League of Legends in the Olympics win?
It's the new crossover with Nintendo. They're going to have
Whoa.
League of Legends characters play against Mario and Sonic in the Olympic Games.
I'd be okay with that.
I might not be. I'm kind of sad that I even put the thought out there.
Chovy. Just building it up. Building up his stacks, being annoying.
As those brothers often are.
Yes. I don't know if the same science works for your team Yasuo and for your team Yone. Generally, your team Yasuo
Feeds his
is
brain
not very good. Dies a lot. The enemy team Yasuo can 1v5.
In my limited experience leveling up my new account, I actually don't hold bad thought. A bit of aggression coming in.
That's a great trade, too. I mean,
Yeah.
you trade support summoners for AD carry summoners, and everything else kind of stays the same. Plus, you've got the AD carry a little bit down on health. Now, he has 4 pots and biscuits because he went boots first. So he's going to be back in it. Shouldn't be a problem. But with that aggression, it's level 2 hit first for Deft and Vista. Dift and Vesta.
Dift and Vesta.
And so it's a great start for them down on the bottom side. It isn't, you know, too surprising, of course.
Certainly not.
That's the way it is. What we can expect from the Dista lane.
There's going to be some fun name combinations I'm sure that you guys are going to come up with throughout the 2021 season.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to sitting back and listening to them from the comfort of my own apartment.
Yeah. Have our fun. And this is, we're taking a long look at the bottom lane. Of course, Jonah Strong is an AD carry main, so if there was one lane he was going to look at when there's not much going on, he would like to look at the bottom lane.
I mean, I'd rather look at the bottom lane at any given time compared to the top lane. That was always a big thing back when I was casting LCK. Is, hey, let's watch the wet noodle fight in top. As a Scion, whoever else, just beat the crap out of each other, and no one goes below 90%.
He missed that last minion.
He's awful at Yone. Oh my god!
We're gonna have to take his rights away. No more Yone. But we saw that already. Nice little lead built up by Chovy. And the teleport now down for Lava as he had to teleport back to lane to catch that wave. That was just pushed in. Top lane, as you mentioned, there's not really much going on. It's just kind of Renekton up against Ornn. They're going to trade some health, some mana for the Ornn. And
Yep.
it'll just go on its merry way.
Ornn will eat a biscuit. Dudu will spin around a little bit, get some HP back, and it's just going to carry on just like that. Okay, Xena played forward, now into the bot lane, getting things a little bit spicy. Got this flourish, does manage to find a root. Crescent takes a lot of damage on the exchange as those spears get yoinked out, but not going to be able to find a kill yet. MT just kind of cruising by just in case. They're also there as the dragon does get ready to spawn. There's a ward in the pit. The pink, however, will go ahead and deny that vision away as MT just going to quick draw out of the spear range.
Those are called control wards now, Achilleos.
Okay, but it's pink, so I'm not technically incorrect.
Actually, it's not pink anymore. They're like orange. And nobody calls them orange wards.
I don't like what.
See, look at them. Okay, it's a little bit pink.
I don't like what's been done.
It's like pink orange.
In my absence.
Ooh, look at this.
Oh. Dudu gonna have to get out of there.
Yep.
Chovy jumped on. Smokescreen will come down, but he'll be all right. Just hovering nearby with Crescent waiting over the wall. Do they want to try to make a play on the Maokai perhaps as he goes to exit? They will push forward, but yeah, gonna be a bit of a non-commitment there. Syndra not really in a position to try to capitalize, also low on mana.
Arthur says, thank you for your tiny little bit of damage leash. That's just fine. I'll be able to start up this dragon. That's what I was going to do anyway. He says, in defiance. says, okay, well, I guess I'll just go and take away the popcorn chicken. It's just the first Cloud Drake, not a huge deal.
But hey, no Cloud Soul.
There we go.
That to look forward to.
Took 4 games.
It did indeed.
And we got there.
It's not going to be an Infernal one either.
Yeah.
So mountain or ocean?
At least ocean is good now.
Yes, this is very true.
I believe it was last year when we had the dragon changes and you had to learn those.
Yeah, that was fun. They have souls now?
Yeah, souls and rifts, and ocean is actually good now. Stuff like that. Cloud still kind of meh. And Hoya's been having a bit of fun up here, although he is going to be down on CS, so even though some of the trades he's been taking up are decent. Lane's still going pretty good for Dudu.
It's pressed up onto the tower, but it's got that CS lead, so even with the decent trade damage that we're seeing from Hoya, he's still able to stay pretty comfortably ahead up there.
Yeah, you can see that once again here in this game against Fredit Brion. It's kind of the same thing where mid just gets ahead and bot just gets ahead. And there's not really much action. Yes, Vista did go for the level 1 play, and it was beneficial to them. But nothing happened in the mid lane. There were no ganks. It was just Chovy pushing as hard as he possibly could. And because of that, being able to roam, as you can see they are trying to do now. And let's see. Trying to get on in there, but there's a lot of wards and stuff hanging around.
Spear's just going to help him take it a little bit faster. Can't get the not so pink ward as well in the brush. It will stay standing there for Fredit. I keep wanting to say Breadit because I'm thinking bro and Fredit at the same time. It's like, Breadit.
Yeah, I like bread, so I'm with you on that one. I keep trying to call him Brian, which is just not. It's not a combination. It's just a mispronunciation of Brion, which is kind of the opposite, I suppose. Vista has been very annoying. That's what Maokai support does. He just loads up those brushes with a bunch of saplings.
Chovy just gonna be taking that Soul Unbound back over, away from the tower. Got the plate knocked down.
Yeah, it's just a very natural lead that he's gaining there.
Yep, nope. Doo-doo. Going big. Horn does manage to find a knock-up. But the Rift Herald will still be claimed by Arthur.
Yeah, and if Lava had any control over this lane, he would have been there. It would have been a 3-on-3. There were no supports around, no AD carries, just a plain 3-on-3. They could have potentially fought over that objective, but instead the priority is so heavily in Chovy's favor that there just will never be any even fight. You will not have your mid lane to help out. At least Umti has been okay to farm amongst all of this, but part of that was, you know, we might have some damage here.
Okay. Well, comes through. Chovy gonna be. Oh, dashes out, perfectly timed to avoid the collateral damage. Fantastically done from him. Does escape, but Flash is gonna be down for the Yone now in the middle lane. So decent pressure being applied there by Lava, trying to get some of that control that you were talking about.
Yeah, and you could see that Chovy just a little bit too close to the sun. He was like not really respecting it and said, well, I mean, I can just clear this wave, no problem, no issue, but actually there was. As, of course, the skill button used there from our Syndra player outplayed him with his R, but of course landing a couple of skills prior to that. And dodging it rather with his ultimate. Very nicely done by Chovy to make sure that he doesn't give away first blood here 11 minutes into the game. And he's still in control of the mid lane. There's not really too much of an issue after all of that. Just summoner blown.
All right, 21 to now 20 CS up still. In a decent little position. As we just carry on our merry way, slow and steady.
Yeah. 500 gold difference for mid and bot, but also 300 in the top lane for Hanwha Life Esports right now.
Three-man collapse into the mid lane from either side. Trying to clear out the ward there out of that center brush, but they can't quite do it. Hoya fast on the rotation down. Will get spotted now as Dudu's going to be going back to base. Does not have the TP, and it seems like there should just be, Fredit securing an Infernal Drink for themselves. Dudu will go ahead and apply a bit of pressure onto the tower, try to deny away as much CS as possible, and it will in fact be an Ocean Soul in the end.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good idea from Hanwha Life. You gotta respect the game, and when it's 4v5, even if you're much better than your opponents, it's still not worth it to try to get in there. You have other objectives to take, and that's why Dudu stayed down here. They're trying to get this low enough so that they can get some extra value out of this Rift Herald.
Yep. Gets stood up. Eye gets popped, charge goes out. Take away a bit of that gold, but now here comes Umti. Gets quite a bit of damage in. Horn going to be blown. Arthur trying to leap away. Umti flashes forward. Helps find the final damage. Hoya will be able to claim the first blood. And they were just not ready for that. Trying to go for the aggro play with the Rift Herald up on the top side, and ends up costing them.
Yeah, they stayed around a little bit too long. And yes, they did get 4 plates, which is huge. They keep their lead in gold, but at the same time, Arthur probably didn't have to die to get all of that. He ended up taking all the gold for himself as well.
That's got him set up for the Mythic.
Yeah.
At least there's that.
The Night Harvester.
Ugh. How does one harvest night?
You get
just
to
a harvester that only works at night.
It seems like you're harvesting night, just based on the name. But maybe it's what you mentioned. You get to move around real fast and do a little bit of extra damage, so
True.
That's generally pretty good for a AP Nidalee. We haven't seen any other kind of Nidalee in a long time.
Oh god, remember 80 top Nidalee?
Yeah.
That was a fun thing. Jump forward now, over in the jungle, but Soul Unbound will just go ahead and take Chovy back over towards mid. Gets a smattering of damage on Lava, maybe applies enough pressure for Arthur to try to get out of here, but no! Deathly Flourish does connect The first shot off the curtain call will take him down. A 0-2 start for Hanwha Life's jungler.
Yeah, just, you know, Chovy is playing Yone, and he can go in. He missed his ult, but he still went in, did a bunch of damage, and then got out, as he does. Teleports back to his original spot. Arthur tries to follow up. He tries to get in there alone after Chovy had already disengaged, and he just gets caught 100%. So, a couple of overextensions, we could say, from Arthur. A little bit unfortunate for him, but...
Yeah.
We won't let it define him just yet, but as I mentioned, you know, this was the one player that I wasn't 100% sure about. The other 4 players proving themselves quite well in the first game that they did play. Whereas Arthur here, he's got a little bit more to prove now after his 0-2 start.
Yeah, just way too aggressive. Even knowing that Lava was nearby, I mean, should be cognizant of the Jhin.
Yeah.
That can more than, you know, would be more than enough to help set up that play. So even if Umti was not there, definitely flourish into the curtain call, likely leads into a dead cat lady.
That was just greedy. Do not do that again, and you should be okay. Love the sound effects. Good smite here from MT.
Now it's going to start up that Rift Herald. Def gets quite a bit of damage here into that bot outer turret. Seems like the rest of the squad are going to be looking to contest. Hoya does have a TP to try to join in, so this could turn into a 5v4 at the advantage of Fredit should they decide that it's necessary. TP's going to be coming through on the backside of the pit. This is taking a lot of damage here from the front line. Rooted and finds the first kill. Horn's going to get blown, rolls through. Arthur does manage to find one, but then falls to the hands of Hoya. Flattening him with that ultimate. Oh, Dudu dashes away from with the slice and dice from the final shot. Doesn't manage to stay alive, but it's a really rough time here for the side of Hanwha Life. 4-1.
Yeah.
Fredit in the lead now by 400 gold.
As you mentioned, they were baiting themselves into a 4v5 fight, and you got to know where the summoners are at for the enemy team. You have to know that the Ornn can be there in a moment's notice.
Well, they know that the Horn is not there, so Def just takes a quick hop away with the Q. Does have the flash as well, so he is going to be quite all right. Just wants to chill in the brush, feint a back, and try to knock down this turret to get them swung back into the gold lead. Lava's here, however, as is Umti nearby.
Deft.
He's just kind of got to stay still now, but he's got to push out. Vista is there. Bolt comes through. He's looking to finish him off. Pulls out with a rend. Crawl will drag Vista out to safety. Throws him back underneath the tower. Def still trying to kite. It's going to be Will not get stunned up by the Scout of the Week.
It's kind of like they're playing with their food here. They're not really that far ahead, though. They got to be careful, right?
I mean, it's like playing with your food, except it's a crab, and it's still alive, and it's holding it. It very well could stab you, and you have to be careful. Just, you know, anything.
Yeah. He was going in. Not wasting any time with that one.
Why not just dive behind the second turret?
Yeah, he should have gone for it. No excuses. Deft really wants that turret. Would love to get that one. Shield bow complete on him.
Yep.
Oh,
Double Gale Force out. Dudu locked up by the Zenith Blade. Just going to take the double slice and dice out to safety. The Hoya was going to be collapsing down, so it's going to be all right for now.
well, let's take another look here. You see it's 4v4 rather to start, but they know that the teleport will be available for the Ornn, who immediately comes in the second the fight starts. They're diving all the way into the back line for the Graves, who, you know, he's a little bit squishy, but not really. I mean, he's been able to build up some of that armor and magic resist, and so they commit so much to take out the one guy, and they're just being rained down upon 5v4.
Yeah. Hanwha was untouched the whole time. Just sat there, just wailing on him. Crit shots coming through. So they still maintain the gold lead because of the two turrets that they've been able to kill. But Fredit's very much not out of this yet.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely have a chance to come back in.
it's funny that after all this, they're still behind, and it's because they're losing in so many of the lanes.
All right, well, stun into root into stun. Solar Flare locks him up, and finds the kill to try to further stack up this Gen 3-1. Def playing around mid, clears out the minion wave. Does get rooted under the tower. How saucy are they feeling? They get the stun. That's then played forward. The shield coming out from the Immortal Shield bow. Nearly takes Crescent down with the Q shot. The spear from Arthur will not connect. They both make it out safely, but summoner spells are used.
Yeah, that they are. And it really does feel like the guys here on the side of Hanwha Life are just kind of, they're taking it easy in this game. You know, it's not as meticulous. Everything that they're doing is just like people are getting caught out. They're not checking all of the boxes before they go into the fights, and it is costing them. Now they're still ahead somehow after everything, and it's because their lanes are just so far ahead. And Vista here just standing out front. He's playing support Maokai. He's not tanky.
Nope.
Not yet.
Not even remotely. Down in the picture-in-picture. However, we can see that Jovi does get a little bit saucy, but Arthur comes in for the drive-by. Hits Lava with a spear, and makes sure that Yone cannot get a kill.
Might not be done yet. Thinking about this mid lane turret. Thinking about how much they'd love to take it down.
Voodoo is spotted, but the wave is really weak, and the next one is all the way back at the inhibitor. Instead, they'll just wait for somebody to push their way into the brush. Arthur finds another kill, now on the board 3-3 with the Sniddly. Horn is used as Voodoo falls a little bit low. Bellow's Breath shakes him down to about half HP as Def joins into the fray. Stacking up as many spears as he possibly can. Jovi goes over the wall with the Soul Unbound. Just gets a little bit of damage on the empty and then has to retreat. TP is going to be used on the inner turret as Lava does rejoin. Maokai ult however cuts him off for the moment. Big scout of the week connects in onto Arthur, unleashes power, and will be able to find a kill, getting a nice little boost of shutdown gold. Curtain Call flies through, takes Voodoo low, and will not be able to finish off that Renekton. And Jovi dies. That is 4 members dead. Baron is up.
They can just get it. I mean, there's no reason not to. It was an extremely messy fight from Hanwha Life. Def just got isolated, and just like that, they handled the pressure so well. And I'm not sure why they're forcing these dives under the turrets. You're getting picks. Your team has the ability to do that, but
just kill the, just get the kill on the Leona and leave. That's all they needed.
Yeah.
They kill Syndra. They camp the brush. They get the kill.
This.
Just walk away.
You did not have to dive here. Deft was way too far forward. Immediately gets picked off. Huge stun, bursts down Arthur. He's out of the fight.
Yep.
And he goes down. Now it's 5v3. And now what are you going to do? You dove the turret. Jovi's trying to smurf here on their left side, and he nearly is able to. Nearly gets Lava, but not able to pull through on that one. So they're diving turrets. Deft is getting caught. They lose 4 members. They lose the Baron, and all of a sudden, I mean, Hanwha Life was not supposed to lose this game, but they're now in a losing position.
It's 5 members as well with Baron on the side of Fredit here. They were all able to secure that buff. So that's a lot of pressure that can be applied to these inner turrets. Jovi getting jumped on, narrowly avoids all of these ultimates. He'll end up going back to that Soul Unbound. Slightly mistimed from Lava. Had to delay it a second. Would have been able to finish off that Yone with the Scatter of the Week.
Yeah. That was close.
But either way, he's out of the fight.
Yeah, they're still trying to. And now he's just going to go on to Arthur. But
yep.
Nice little push here from Hanwha Life. Fredit Brion, as they're getting multiple turrets now and moving ahead in this game.
Gold lead is in their pocket. It's going to be a 3rd dragon as well coming through. So double ocean for this Leona, for this Ornn, to give them some consistent regen so that they can, weave out of a fight and go straight back into it after getting topped up a little bit. Hanwha Life, they need to get strapped in. They need to do it soon. If they continue to make these silly mistakes, take these egregious fights, then they're going to end their first day of the KeSPA Cup 1-1, which is not what anybody would have anticipated. And I think that it is, if this is how they want to go out on day 1, then we're going to have some explaining to do down the line, potentially.
It's a bit questionable. Now they're kind of just gank rushing. Just kind of hoping that Fredit doesn't, you know, check all their boxes, essentially. As the work comes down, and okay.
Oh no! Our gank rush didn't work this time. It's like a classic Samsung. So I don't know what to do. I guess we just sit in the bush, wait for them to push in.
Yeah. Now you're up against a 4-0-3 Jin. Your Ornn is also 4-0, but again, you know, he is an Ornn, but you know, he's getting levels, he's getting experience, and he's able to give extra items over to his teammates.
Already had 2 upgrades come through.
Yeah. The Eye of Luden completed, as well as the
Typhoon.
It's a very calm Typhoon, apparently.
Yeah.
On this cast.
I want to see the worm fall and sacrifice.
Yeah, I want to say that. I just want to say that on a cast. Now, the game isn't over, but it shouldn't have gotten to this place. That's kind of why we're speaking the way that we are. You know, it's just Hanwha Life having a bit of fun, and that's the way this ends up. Now, Fredit Brion, are they good enough to actually steal games away from teams like Hanwha? That's the real question.
Or if it's handed to them like this.
Yeah, like in positions like this,
They
can they
certainly
steal
are.
the games away? Because if they lose from here, that's not a good look. But
Yeah,
we'll have
certainly.
to wait and see.
I mean, the deficit isn't so much that Hanwha Life can't bring it back. Obviously, they have the caliber of players to turn this around, even against, you know, potentially better team than Fredit. But if they don't turn it around, then I'm even more shocked.
Yeah.
It means that Fredit Brion really, you know, knows what to do with their advantages, gain a lead and not let it get thrown away. We saw that happen to them versus KT in their first series of the day. So being able to avoid that happening again, this time versus Hanwha Life, would be a really big boon for the Bros.
The Bros. You can just call them the Bros. Is this their official acronym? Probably is.
I mean, I don't know. We'll find out once.
Look at Chovy trying to do damage. So
And he just takes more in exchange.
Yeah. He's got Thornmail, so.
It just breathes on him a little bit. He's just, ow.
Yeah, I don't know about this Chovy.
Okay, Horn not going to connect, but now Chovy in a bit of bother. Doesn't have anywhere to go. Had already used the Soul on Bound. I mean, they'll trade him out for a mid-tier 1 tower. Potentially. Soul Flare now going to be dropping in. Zenith's Blade will get the lock-in onto Daft. Control shots flying through. 4th one not going to be able to connect with anybody, and Death doesn't manage to find the kill. Pulls out the Rend. Crescent goes down. Definitely weak. Slips in onto Dudu. He's going to be flashing away, and it seems like that should just be the end of the fight. So a 1-for-1, but it's Chovy for Crescent, which I think that Bro's probably still going to be feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah. Did you see the spear hit Ornn? Because neither did I. It's like it didn't exist. It's like the spear just became invisible and went into the nether. Take a look at the damage tree here.
78, 78, 78. Those are crits, by the way.
Yeah, and you can see that he also took 2 turret shots. So at the end of this one, it's let me try to escape. And well, there's 4 members actually, not just Ornn. Chovy way too far down the lane. He's certainly having a fun time.
He's certainly playing like all of the Yones that I've had in my game. Maybe with a bit more flair, but a similar scoreline, to be sure. And then, I mean, the rest of the fight comes through.
Take a look at the spear.
Oh, yeah, it did absolutely nothing.
Tanks are fun.
Well,
Hey,
Dragon,
look,
that
Maokai
spawned.
did so much damage actually to that Ornn comparatively.
You know what's even better is an Ornn with an Ocean Soul.
Oh no.
So that could very well be in the Bros' future. Dudu wrapping around the back, ups down. Troll Ward,
Wow.
to use your terminologies.
Did you see Chovy's positioning? It's like next level, next level. They spotted him though.
Yep, they are collapsing. That's the Gale Force rush forward. It's quite a bit of damage on him now. He's going to be zoned away from this Dragon fight. Does get started up by Hanwha Life. They're looking to just zerg this one down, and we'll be able to find the kill, denying Dragon Soul away from Fredit as the curtain call comes through. Finds the shot on the depth. Final 3, however, not going to get a connection. Good little illusion on the fight there from Hanwha Life Esports. Chovy acting as a decent bit of bait so that they can go in and get that Ocean Drake.
Yeah, they have the damage to do it, of course, even without Chovy. And so they just get on in there, easy peasy. They steal it away, no Ocean Soul, and they keep the game even. Not going to give any kills away at the same time. So just pretty simple stuff from them. And, you know, this game is just crazy because it certainly could go either way, like, for real, right now. Like,
I mean,
it's so dumb.
a Baron fight just kind of determines it.
Yeah.
You know, if one team walks away 3 members alive, or even 2, depending on who they are, they might just build a push together.
Yeah. The thing is that they do have, you know, some pretty crazy scaling with the Ornn items. They have, of course, the 3 of them already, and they're just gonna continue to get more. It's gonna be pretty insane what they can do here in this late game. Obviously, Great is gonna be pretty good. Jin gonna be pretty good. In the later stages, Kalista somewhat falls off as there just become too many threats and too much damage that can burst her before she can sustain. We got another fight, though.
Yeah, that's going to be Ornhorn drawn out, and Duda just gets absolutely deleted. Flushed down the toilet as Syndra finds a kill, and now they are going to have their eyes in onto this mid inhib. Hoya pushing forward to zone depth back, making sure that he cannot clear out the wave whatsoever. Arthur just trying to offer up spears where possible, but they'll just juke him or they'll have him eaten by this Ornn. And with only 1 member down on the side of Hanwha Life, they might be just looking to end this. The first inhib turret does fall. Chovy is back in the base, and that will be the retreat call coming through from Fredit. Def just continues to dash away.
Yeah. And this is Lava's strength. I never really thought he was a great laner, but in the later stages of the game, like mid to late game, he's always been pretty solid. And he's actually making this Syndra look pretty strong against the team comp that Hanwha Life have. There's not a lot of tankiness, right? There's the Renekton who, you know, he's got health, but he certainly can be chunked. The Maokai is not tanky. And then, of course, I don't have to say much about the other 3 members. So he's going to begin really chunking people, as we've already seen. He got that kill onto the Renekton just there. Now they're going to try to force this Baron. They have a Kalista, but I don't think you can do it right now. You're too far behind now.
Yeah. Dudu around that backside of the pit, but I mean, given how quickly he was blown up in the last fight, unsurprising to see him just immediately pull back from that position. Knows that he's just not safe to stick around there.
All right, we had the Leona's item upgraded as well right before this fight begins. And Chovy is way in the back as their base is being pushed. So,
yeah, not good. Saucy flashes forward, looks for the kill. He'll take the ult out, but he's got collateral damage in the end. The Ornhorn and the curtain call, not really necessary. But Chovy, even with the flash, even with the fate sealed, he just cannot get away. And now it is all contingent on a Baron steal by some random party member on the side of Hanwha Life. Depth is around, throws out a couple spears, but those are getting eaten. He can't play far enough forward to try to take it with a rend. Baron, again, in the hands of Fredit.
Arthur didn't even try to steal it, which I find pretty confusing. Gale Force Graves in the late game, you're just...
It's brutal.
You're not getting away, and also you're just taking so much chunky, sustained damage. It's like the best of both worlds. He is just ending you. And especially against Yone, it's, you know, he doesn't have anything right now in terms of ways to stop that damage. And they had many other options, as we saw. Doesn't matter how slippery the Yone can be.
It's just...
They're gonna get you.
It's just hilarious to me that Chovy is not far off from Flame Horizoning Lava.
Whoa.
But...
What? Why did he do that?
I don't know. Okay, Pista's going to be going in aggressively. Does get the root down, and that's going to be the kill. Good rend out from Depth. Does get rid of him. See, that's a lot of the burst damage taken away from Fredit, as they do get poised for this dragon that's going to be spawning in 10 seconds. also means they likely can secure this with a smite of their own. Horn going to be coming through as they continue to try to pick on Chovy. He'll just take that fate sealed across the wall out to safety. And I don't know if he's been able to use that ultimate once aggressively.
Maybe once? I think the one time. There was the one
Perhaps.
time. But that was it.
Did it result in his death?
I think they're just going to end the game.
Yeah, they're going for it.
Is going to try to stop the backs here, and he will be able to.
Nesson gets the jump on in. Stun instantly on the Chovy. He'll go golden for just a little moment here. Maokai ult does roll through. Grasp comes in. The Nexus is exposed. It is open. It is destroyed. Fredit have actually done it. They have taken down Hanwha Life Esports. Both teams going 1-1 on their first day of the KeSPA Cup, and I mean, this is just certainly not what we were anticipating, Valdez.
Yeah, we saw the good side of Hanwha Life Esports today, and we saw the bad side, or the downside, perhaps we could say it, because a lot of those guys are not scared to get pretty frisky and do some crazy stuff, and sometimes throw games. Now, they weren't so far ahead where it was impossible to lose, as we saw, right? They just made a couple of blunders where they overextended a couple of dives, and props to Fredit Brion. I mean, they played pretty solidly, right? They took those blunders, and they're like, yes, thank you. And they built up their fat stacks. They had an Ornn, they scaled up, and then it was like, what are you going to do? They played a good game, given the situation.
Like I said, that they had some good moments in their first series versus KT, but they let that slip out of their hands, and they dropped the ball. That all of a sudden they were in the lead, slipped away from them, and then KT was able to take it in the end. They got a lead here. They didn't let go of it. They just actually played it perfectly. And Hanwha Life, I think they're going to have to rethink things moving forward. Maybe not try to go for the stylish, potentially slightly BM composition that we saw here with the Yone.
Yeah, the Yone pick, it's kind of just Chovy flexing, and
he fed. He did not flex.
Yeah, he went like
Chovy
0 and 4,
absolutely
0-5.
fed.
Yeah, we saw what he can do in laning stages in both games against. Not just weaker laners. Like, he's done it against the best of the best in the LCK. So we know that he's a fantastic laner, but
for sure.
Didn't really follow up on that this
Every
time
now and
around.
then, it happens. You get a really hype player that go for something that you haven't really seen them play ever before, and you're so excited, and then it just falls flat. And you're just like, oh, well, I guess that's not meant for them.
Yeah, and it's part of the reason why we don't see too many, Yasuos or Yones in this case, or like Zeds or stuff like that, Talons. We've seen them from time to time.
You either pop off or you absolutely feed out of your mind. It's the way it is in solo queue. Clearly, it's the way it is here in the KeSPA Cup.
It's just not consistent, and that's not the way that pro teams have liked to play for years and years and years. They want the consistency. They want the Ornn. That's why, the Ornn against the Yone, the matchup is just laughable, because eventually the Ornn gets so tanky. He has done so much for his team, and the Yone is like, can I assassinate you or anybody? The answer is no. Unless you're like 5,000 gold ahead, which they were not.
No. I mean, I got to say as well, for Lava, big improvement over that first series. He had a lot of blunders playing on that Orianna, trying to flash forward, go for the shockwaves, completely whiffing shockwaves from time to time in their first series. Looked a lot better on the Syndra. Much more consistent from him. Granted, it is an ultimate that you can just look at somebody and throw it on them without having to, aim at all.
His stuns were good, too.
Exactly. That's what I was going to bring up, was his scatter of the weak timings were pretty damn good. There's a couple times where he had almost killed the Yone after the Soul Unbound when he gets the snapback. So it was overall a great performance from Lava, and I'm glad to see him bounce back after a really rough start versus KT.
Yeah, so it all started off with the Hanwha Life jungler going 0-2, and we were like, okay, I mean, that's not a great start for Arthur. Maybe he can turn it around. And then it became not only about Arthur.
I was going to say, little did we know Arthur wasn't the one to be worried about.
Yeah.
It was the Yone all along.
It was a lot of their decisions, too, as a team like this. Like, why? Just try to force it. Perfect response from Fredit Brion. They just are immediately, he's got his finger on the teleport trigger, and the second they go in is the second he teleports, and it's a perfect fight from them. They responded amazingly to all the pressure that was given to them. Now, Chovy did have this one nice moment where he got the knock up, a ton of damage, and then Arthur stole the kill away. But then they do this.
Def's just too far forward. I mean, I think that was maybe Def's, at least the one big mistake that really stands out. That was the one time where it felt like he was fooling around. Every other time you looked at Deft on screen, it seemed like he was the one person potentially that was actively trying to win the game.
Yeah.
It did have some good moments with the Callista, but it was just too far gone. Too many blunders, too much of a lead, and better decision making at times from Fredit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they played very well like a team. I think this game was definitely better than their first one, and I think a weaker team could have just thrown their lead as well. You know, thrown it right back, gotten caught out, lost the game eventually, and we would have just been scratching our heads saying, well, Hanwha, why do you have to do that? You're a much better team and all that, but we didn't even get there because it was just such a solid game from Brion. And so, you know, they had a couple of moments, right? Lava got caught out, Umpty got caught out here.
Yeah.
But it didn't end up being the difference maker to lose them the game or anything like that. Great decision here as well to stop the backs and then get the kill on the Nexus.
Yep, that's all they needed. Just 3 members distracted. I mean, this Maokai who's got almost no HP, no resistances, to try and defend solo. Just, you know, you can just ignore him. Just go straight for the Nexus. Exactly what they did.
Yeah.
And they were able to pick up the win. I mean, from the start, it was honestly really good from Fredit. They had a sound plan, and then it started off well for them in the game, getting those first 2 kills on Arthur. But even in the draft, getting rid of the Shen, getting rid of the Braum, eliminating the tankier support options that Hanwha Life could have relied on. It's really solid.
Yeah.
And
You see the damage here? The
Maokai
most damage was Maokai.
did a lot.
I think that tells the whole story of this game.
Yeah.
Take a look at the difference between Renekton and Orin as well. I mean, he was just a million times more useful because it's not just about damage, obviously. It's about what he offers to the team and the CC and stuff like that. A very one-sided game it turned out in the end.
All right, well, we do have one more series this evening for you. It's going to be the battle of the B teams. T1 going up against Gen.G. That's coming at you in about 10 minutes, so stay tuned.